Hello, and a very good day to everyone. Me, Micole, and my group members, Wong and Qing, will be presenting on Teacher as Educator, Driving Malaysia's Educational Aspirations on the course GPP1092, Introduction to Educational Studies. So, when we talk about Malaysian education today, we cannot separate it from national transformation. Education is not simply about classroom instruction. It is a strategic tool for nation building. Malaysia's education system is guided by two major frameworks, which is the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 and SKPMG2. These are not just policy documents. They represent Malaysia's long-term vision to produce globally competitive, balanced, and ethical citizens. The Malaysia Education Blueprint outlines systemic transformation goals, while SKPMG2 ensures quality standards are maintained at school level. Together, they define both aspirations and directions. However, policies alone do not transform education. Transformation really happens in classrooms, and classrooms are led by teachers. According to Shamsia et al. In 2016, education must develop individuals holistically in the terms of intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. This means that the role of a teacher goes beyond transmitting knowledge. A teacher is a moral guide, a facilitator of thinking, and a cultivator of human potential. So, today, for my part, I will be discussing two essential aspects. First, what is the aspiration of educators? Second, what is the direction educators must take to achieve that aspiration? Let us begin with aspiration. Aspiration refers to the deeper purpose behind an educator's profession. Without aspiration, teaching becomes mechanical and emotionless. With aspiration, however, teaching becomes transformational. The Malaysia Education Blueprint identifies five system aspiration, which is access, quality, equity, unity, and efficiency. These are not abstract ideals. They directly shape our daily responsibilities as teachers. So I'll start off with access. Access means ensuring that every child has the opportunity to receive education. But access is not merely just about physical attendance in school. It also includes cognitive and emotional access, whether students truly understand and feel supported. As educators, they must adapt their strategies to accommodate different learning abilities. This may involve differentiated instruction, scaffolded learning, or additional support for weaker students. Second, I'll be talking about quality. Quality is often measured through international benchmarks such as PISA and TIMSS. However, true educational quality extends beyond examination performance. It involves cultivating curiosity, critical thinking, and meaningful learning. Therefore, as educators, our aspiration is not simply to finish the syllabus, but to ensure deep conceptual understanding. Third, equity. Equity addresses the achievement gap between students of different socioeconomic backgrounds. This is particularly relevant in Malaysia, where urban rural disparities still exist. As educator with strong aspiration, recognizes that fairness does not mean treating all students the same. Instead, it means providing appropriate support according to individuals' needs. Fourth, unity. Malaysia's diversity is both a strength and a challenge. Malaysia is known as a multicultural country. Teachers play a central role in fostering national identity and social cohesion. Through collaborative learning, intercultural dialogue, and value based education, we cultivate mutual respect among students which initially do not understand each other's differences. Unity is not taught through lectures, it is experienced through classroom interactions. Fifth, efficiency. Efficiency requires maximizing students' outcomes using available resources responsibly. What this means is it reflects professionalism and accountability in the teaching profession. Beyond these system aspirations, we must also consider the six students' aspirations, which is knowledge, thinking skills, leadership, bilingual proficiency, ethnics, and spirituality. Lastly, national identity. These aspirations reflect a holistic model of human development. Shamsia et al. In 2016 emphasizes that education must nurture balanced growth, where not only intellectual capability but also moral and emotional maturity. This connects directly to the national education philosophy. So, if we answer the first essential question, which is what is the primary vision of a teacher in fulfilling national and global requirements, the answer is this. The aspiration of an educator is to develop students who are intellectually competent, morally grounded, socially responsible, and globally competitive. This is the educator's mission. Now, aspiration alone is insufficient. We must ask us the question, how do we move forward toward that aspiration? This brings us to our second point, which is the direction of educators. SKPMG2 provides structured quality standards. It emphasizes leadership, curriculum management, effective PDPC, and accountability for student outcomes. This shows that teaching is not a random act. It is a professional discipline guided by standards. Direction also involves professional growth. Shamsia et al. In 2016 highlight that teachers must continuously enhance their competence. What this means is that professional development is not optional, it is necessary. Education is dynamic. Pedagogical approaches evolve within time, and technology advances. That's why students need change. Therefore, lifelong learning is also a part of an educator's direction. Another key direction is the integration of technology. We are teaching in the era of digital transformation, where students are exposed to information instantly. That's why they are called the digital natives nowadays. If teachers do not adapt, the gap between school learning and real world learning widens. Technology must not replace pedagogy, but it should enhance engagement, collaboration, and inquiry. Besides, high order thinking skills, or we call it kebat, also define the direction of modern education. Education today emphasizes analysis, evaluation, and creativity, not just memorization. Teachers must design learning experiences that challenge students intellectually. This way, we can prepare students to face real world problems instead of just textbook problems. Curriculum reforms such as KSPK, KSSR, and KSSM reinforce inquiry based and STEM oriented learning. This aligns with global trends identified by OECD in 2018, which emphasize adaptability and problem solving in a complex world. Finally, direction includes moral responsibility. Teachers are known as role models for students. Students observe their behavior, language, and attitude. An educator's integrity shapes classroom culture. This leads to the second essential question. How do educational institutions facilitate the formation of teachers as educators? The answer is institutions such as IPG prepare future teachers through pedagogical training, reflective practice, exposure to policy frameworks, professional ethics education, and practical teaching experiences. These elements shape not only the competence but professional identity. The final essential question asks, to what extent is the educator's soul important? In my opinion, it is fundamental. Policies provide structure, curriculum provides content, and technology provides tools. But educators' soul provide meaning to the teaching. Without empathy, integrity, and commitment, education becomes mechanical. With soul, education becomes transformative. So, in conclusion, The aspiration of educators align with national transformation goals, and the direction of educators is guided by structured standards, curriculum reform, technological integration, and global readiness. However, beyond framework and standards, the heart of education transformation lies in the educator. A teacher is not simply an educator. A teacher is a nation builder. As future educators, our responsibility is not merely to deliver lessons, but to cultivate human potential. That's all from me. Now we'll be moving on to my group mate, Guan Yu.
Hi everyone, my name is Wong and today I'll be presenting my part on teacher as an educator, along with its two major implications, which are teaching and learning management, and also student development and lifelong learning. A teacher is not merely someone who delivers subject knowledge. A teacher as an educator plays a much more broader and much more significant role in shaping students not just academically, but also emotionally, socially, and morally. In today's educational landscape, teachers are expected to develop holistic individuals who are competent, ethical, and capable of lifelong learning. Firstly, a teacher as an educator must demonstrate dedication. Dedication means being fully communicated to students' holistic development rather than focusing only on examination results. According to the Ministry of Education Malaysia, teachers must plan lessons that align with the curriculum standards and national education goals. A dedicated teacher designs structured and student-centered learning experience that are outcome-based and purposeful, as supported by Darling Hammond and colleagues. In addition, dedicated educators use differentiated instruction to address diverse learner needs, recognizing that students learn at different paces and in different ways. They also reflect on their teacher and also teaching learning practice to improve continuously, which is essential for professional growth. Furthermore, teachers integrate digital tools to enhance engagement and accessibility, ensuring students are prepared for technology-driven world. This shows that education involves preparation, adaptability, and continuous improvement. Secondly, a teacher must be caring. Caring teachers build positive and respectful relationship with students. Research shows that positive teacher-student relationships significantly improve student motivation and achievement. A caring educator recognizes a student's emotional and social needs and understands that learning is influenced by well-being. They create inclusive and psychologically safe classroom environments where students feel valued and respected. In addition, they encourage collaborative and active participation to promote engagement and communication skills. Through care and empathy, teachers create an environment where students feel confident enough to express themselves and participate actively in learning. Thirdly, a student as an educator must demonstrate good moral character. Professionalism and ethical responsibility are fundamental expectations in learning. Teachers must promote fairness, equality, and respect in all classroom practices. They serve as a role model by demonstrating integrity and accountability in their decision and behavior. Teachers also guide students in responsible decision making and ethical awareness. In doing so, they uphold national educational values and standards. Since students observe and imitate their teachers, moral character is essential in shaping students' attitudes and values. Finally, a teacher must possess in positive self-concept. A teacher with self-efficiency and also professional confidence manage classroom more effectively and influence student outcomes positively. They engage in continuous professional learning to enhance their knowledge and also teaching strategies. They adapt their instructional approaches based on feedback and students' performance. In addition, they promote growth mindset and resilience among learners, helping students view challenges as opportunities for improvement. Teachers also integrate 21st century competencies such as critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity in the classroom practice. A confident and reflective teacher inspires students to develop similar attitudes. Now that we understand the qualities of a teacher being an educator, Let me present the first implication of a teacher being educator, which is effective teaching and learning management. Educator qualities directly influence how lessons are planned, delivered, and evaluated in the classroom. A dedicated teacher ensures that the lessons are aligned with the curriculum standards and national education goals, while designing structured, student-centered, and outcome-based learning experience that actively engage learners. They implement differentiated instruction to address diverse learner needs, reflect on their teaching practices for continuous improvement, and also integrate digital tools to enhance engagement and accessibility. At the same time, current teachers and also educators create inclusive and psychologically safe classroom environments to recognize students' emotional and also social needs, apply formative assessment strategies to monitor progress, and also encourage collaborative participation that enhance motivation and achievement. These practices ensure that learning is structured, supportive, and purposeful. In addition, good moral character and positive self concept strengthen effective learning management. Teachers demonstrate professionalism and ethical responsibility, promote fairness and equality in classroom practices, model inclusivity, and also accountability. They also guide students in responsible decision making while upholding national education needs and values. Teachers with strong self confidence are able to manage classroom effectively, adapt instruction when necessary, engage in continuous professional learning, and adjust strategy based on student feedback. They also promote growth on mindset and also resilience while integrating 21st century competency such as critical thinking, collaboration, and also creativity into classroom practice. When dedication, caring, moral character, and positive self-concept are combined, they result in a structured instruction, measurable learning outcome, engaging classroom environments, continuous assessment, and the holistic development of the student cognitive, emotional, and social competency. Therefore, educator qualities from the foundation of effective and sustainable teaching and learning management. Now, let's move on to the second implication, which is student development and lifelong learning. Education today goes beyond academic achievement and focuses on developing the whole individual. Teachers provide personalized attention by identifying students' strengths and areas for improvement through continuous assessment. They implement differentiated instruction to accommodate diverse learning needs and provide timely, constructive feedback to support progress. By adapting their teaching strategies and offering additional support when necessary, teachers ensure that every student has equal opportunities to succeed and grow according to their potential. In addition to academic guidance, teachers also play an important role in mentoring and character development. They support students' social and emotional growth by creating inclusive environments that encourage respect, responsibility, and ethical decision making. Through daily interactions, teachers model positive values such as integrity, accountability, and empathy. They also promote critical and creative thinking by encouraging students to question, analyze, solve problems, and also express innovative ideas. By designing engaging activities that require collaboration and reflection, teachers help students develop higher order thinking skills that are essential for real world challenges. Most importantly, educators nurture lifelong learning attitudes. They instill curiosity, resilience, and a growth mindset, helping students to understand that learning is a continuous process rather than a final destination. Teachers encourage self directed learning by guiding students to set goals, monitor their own progress, and take responsibility for their own development. By modeling continuous professional growth themselves, teachers demonstrate the importance of adaptability and perseverance in an ever changing world. Therefore, through personalized support, meaningful guidance, and the promotion of a lifelong learning, teachers and educators promote and contribute to the holistic and sustainable development of every student. That's all for me. Thank you very much.
As educators, teachers must embody several important qualities. First, teachers must uphold strong ethics. Teachers are role model for students. Students do not only learn from what teachers say, but also from how teachers behave. For example, when teachers are punctual, fair, respectful, and responsible, students observe and imitate these behaviors. In the context of technology use, if teachers demonstrate honesty in using digital resources and acknowledge sources properly, students will also learn to avoid plagiarism. Therefore, ethical conduct must begin with the teachers. Second, teachers must practice inclusivity. Classrooms today are diverse. Students come from different backgrounds, abilities, and socio-economic conditions. Some students are fast learners, while some may struggle to understand certain topics. Some students may have special education needs, such as dyslexia or attention difficulties. Teachers must adapt their teaching strategies to ensure that all students have equal opportunities to learn. For instance, a teacher can provide simplified notes for weaker students and enrichment tasks for advanced learners. If certain students do not have access to personal devices, teachers can organize group activities to ensure participation. Inclusivity reflects the educator's compassion and commitment to fairness. Third, teachers must integrate technology wisely. The advancements of artificial intelligence has brought many opportunities to enhance teaching and learning. AI can assist teachers in preparing lesson plans, generating practice, and analyzing students' performance. Students can also use AI tools to improve their grammar, vocabulary, and understanding of difficulty concepts. However, technology must be used ethically and prudently. If students rely entirely on AI to complete assignments without understanding the context, their critical thinking skills may weaken. Furthermore, issues such as data privacy and digital safety must be carefully managed. Therefore, teachers must guide students on responsible digital behavior. Technology should support learning, not replace human thinking and interaction. Another important element is sustainability. Teachers must help students develop awareness about environmental responsibility and long-term social well-being. For example, teachers can incorporate environmental topics into classroom discussion, encourage recycling projects, or promote digital submission to reduce paper usage. Through these practices, students learn to care about the future and understand their role in contributing to society. This aligns with the Malaysian Madani framework, which emphasizes sustainability, sustainable development, and human well-being. Although technology is helpful, there are challenges. First, some teachers lack of AI skills. For example, older teachers may not familiar with digital tools. This can create a gap between teachers and students. Second, students may misuse AI. They may generate essays without understanding the context at all. This will weaken their thinking skills. Third, there are data privacy issues where if students share personal information online, it can be dangerous. Fourth, overdependence on technology can reduce creativity. If students always rely on AI, they may not develop problem solving skills. Therefore, teachers must control technology wisely. From the perspective of students' development, The challenges extend beyond academics. Many students today experience significant stress and emotional pressure. Intense academic competition, high parental expectation, and constant comparison through social media platforms can negatively affect students' mental health. Feelings of anxiety and low self-esteem are increasingly common among young learners. In this context, teachers must act not only as educators but also as mentors and role models. Creating a safe, inclusive, and supportive classroom environment is crucial. Teachers should encourage open communication, promote mutual respect, and provide reassurance that mistakes are part of learning process. Moral and social challenges are also becoming more complex. Issues such as cyberbullying, online harassment, misinformation, and disrespectful digital communication are rising concerns. Teachers have an important responsibility to guide students in practicing responsible digital citizenship. This includes teaching empathy, respect, lessons, and modeling positive conduct. Teachers help students develop strong moral foundation that extend beyond the classroom. Teachers themselves also encounter numerous professional challenges. The education system continues to evolve, with frequent curriculum reforms, policy adjustment, and new pedagogical approaches. Educators are expected to stay updated with modern teaching strategies while simultaneously fulfilling administrative duties, managing co-curricular activities, preparing reports, and engaging with parents. The increasing expectation from society places additional pressure on teachers to produce high-performing students while nurturing character development. Without sufficient institutional support, manageable workloads, and recognition, teachers may experience stress, fatigue, and burnout. Therefore, teacher well-being must be prioritized alongside students' development. Emotional resilience, work-life balance, and professional support system are essential to sustain long-term effectiveness. When teachers feel valued, support, and motivated, they are better they are better able to inspire, guide, and empower their students. Professional learning communities, mentoring system, and leadership support can strengthen teachers' confidence and sense of purpose. In conclusion, the direction of education in Malaysia is clearly aligned with the aspiration of holistic, balanced, and future-ready individuals as outlined in Ministry of Education Malaysia's policies and the vision of Malaysia Madani. Education is no longer limited to academic excellence alone. It encompasses moral integrity, critical thinking, adaptability, technology competence, and emotional intelligence. Teachers are not merely transmitters of knowledge. They are nation builders who shape future generations through wisdom, adaptability, ethical leadership, and compassion. By integrating technologies responsibly, practicing inclusivity, promoting well-being, and upholding strong moral principles, teachers contribute significantly to the development of individuals and progress of society. Ultimately, strong teachers nurture strong students, and strong students build a resilient and prosperous nation. Thank you.